All right, here's what we're going to do today, something a little bit different. I was out mowing the grass 2 days ago after I got back from a long trip. And I got up into this area of my yard and I noticed there were like bugs all around me and I was like swatting at them. And it was, to my horror, I discovered they're actually yellow jackets. So of course I jumped off the mower screaming and ran across the yard. Didn't get stung once, I got extremely lucky. But there were thousands of yellow jackets flying around. As it turns out, there's actually 2 yellow jacket nests here. And these are built into the ground. They actually excavate tunnels into the ground and excavate chambers. Could be as big as a basketball and have their nests in there. This is one of them. And I've actually been working on killing them with some, well, let's just say they had a little problem with fire. But I didn't actually kill them all. I probably killed 1,000, but they're still in there. This hole was filled over. I filled it over last night, and they've already dug it out again. You can see them going in and out. As long as I don't make any too much noise, it probably won't bother me, but if I stomp the ground, they'll come boiling out of there. This one over here, though, man, there were so many yellow jackets in this one. It was absolutely incredible. Their main hole was right over here, and I covered it over, but they dug it out again. But now they're going in and out of that pipe, so I'm not sure. I'm not sure if my little experiment's going to work on this one. I'm not sure if it's going to work on either. But here's what we're going to do. I am going to get some of this spray foam insulation, and we're going to spray a bunch of foam in it and see if it goes down in there and kind of hardens up and kills the wasps. Now, I may call these ground bees in my video, and if I do, I apologize. They're wasps, but it's a lot easier for me to say ground bees and scream and run than it is to say ground wasps and scream and run. All right, so I'm gonna do that tonight because at night they sleep. Right now they're flying around, and if I get too interested in their nest, they'll probably sting the heck out of me. One quick thing about these yellow jackets that you might find interesting, at least I do, is that in the summertime you'll get them in your drinks like your sodas and stuff, but in the fall, like it is now, this is in September, they go after meat. So if you have chicken and stuff like that, like barbecue chicken you're eating outside, they'll go after the meat before they'll go after the soda. I'm going to put the camera down there in a minute. We're going to stomp the ground and see if they come out like crazy and attack the camera. Then we'll come back tonight and we'll do the foamy insulation. Just give me a minute. Let me tie a string to the camera first so I can pull it away safely. So as I may or may not have been telling you earlier, in the first part of the year, yellow jackets like to go after sweet stuff. But in the latter part of the year, like in the fall like it is now, or late summer, they go after meat. So we're going to do a little experiment inside of an experiment. See, they're all over the grass down there. There are thousands of them in the grass when I first went through here. And we're going to do an experiment. I'm going to put down 2 plates. One has some honey, and one has a recently chewed up chicken leg, barbecue chicken leg. And we're going to see which one they prefer. So let's just set that here. I'm using the same kind of plate, same color. They're already attracted to it. And we'll see which one they prefer. Let's give them about 15 or 20 minutes, and we'll come back and look at them and see what they're up to. I can't resist. Okay, so it's been about 15 minutes and they act like they haven't even found this thing. So let me go ahead and we're going to move this over here. Maybe it needs to be a little further away from the hole because they're flying all over the grass right here pretty low. And we'll move this one too over to here, side by side. So we just modified the experiment just a little tiny bit. I think they'll find them because here's one right there going over. You'll go check it out, I think. Man, that was quick, wasn't it? I had it set by the hole there for 15 minutes and they never touched it. So we'll see if they prefer the meat or the honey. We'll get a couple minutes and we'll come back to them. Alright, so one just left. So I suspect he's going to go back to the hive and tell the others that he found something delicious to eat. See how long it takes him to come back. This hive is so close. All right, so it's been about 3 or 4 minutes, and 3 of them just landed all at once there. Oh yeah, look at him. It's like mowing off chunks of the meat. There he goes with a big old chunk of chicken in his mouth. He'll strip that thing to the bone in no time. Thing is, just hanging out watching these guys makes me feel bad that I'm going to have to do away with their nest, but I can't have them this close to the house with my pets and all. All right, so we'll let that go for a few minutes. I'm going to put the camera up on this nest, and I'm gonna stomp on the ground, like mimicking someone like playing nearby, and watch what the wasps do. So I'm gonna give you another little lesson in wasp behavior and also honeybee behavior. I was trying to set my camera up, the one I'm using right now. I set it kind of on that brick pointed down at the hole, and they started to become agitated flying around. And what one did is he started hitting me on the top of the head, and that's the warning that they give you. They'll like bounce off your head, boink, 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 not stinging you, but just bouncing off your head. And that's their warning that they're getting tired of your presence. They want you to move on. My honeybees do that all the time. So I got the camera set up. I'm going to walk over there. I'm going to stomp on the ground a little bit and run, or at least saunter away quickly. And hopefully, now again, this is the smaller of the hives, and I killed a bunch of them already, so it's not going to be crazy. But so you stomp on the ground, and they don't like that, and they'll start to come up out of there. If that was a full hive, look, they're on the camera now going after it. There would have been 1,000 of them out of there yesterday before I worked on it. We see they're on the camera now. That one went down my shirt. Yeah, they're not being too aggressive. One's trying to bite. They're biting it. Yeah, there they go. See, now they get mad. What I'm doing is I backed into the weeds here so maybe they won't find me as quickly. You can see that's why I don't want them around the house. Look at them going crazy. And that hive is a fraction of what was in there just a few days ago. They'll find me eventually. At least with my back to the wall, I'm a little bit safe. Actually have there's one on my camera and one off my head. Yeah, so I was watching one on my camera. I didn't see the one that was on my thumb or my knuckle on my finger, and he stung me. I think it's a stinger. Yeah, there's a stinger sticking out right there. Should pull that out pretty quick. All right, so I ran into my basement and was pulling a stinger out, and I guess my battery came out of the camera and it quit recording. But there was another one that was like flying around me, and I was like screaming and running around the room and hiding, and it kept getting on me. And finally I had to, I tried to kill it with a paper towel, smushing it. I finally had to spray it with some wasp and hornet killer, and it killed it immediately. Came back out here, got my camera, was dragging it down. They're following me. They followed me over here. Was dragging it down the hill, and they came after me again. You see my camera say there, I had it on the string. And if you look at the, I'll just go ahead and pick that up now. I guess it's safe. If you look at the screen, you can see it's got venom and stuff all over where it was stinging. The heck, there's even stingers stuck on there. Stuck on there. Then we went over to here. We looked at the honey versus meat, and we had bees still eating the meat, but there were none on the honey. Well, there's one on the honey now, so we'll check back in about half an hour. I'll give you an update. See, my finger's starting to swell up. If I had 100 or 1,000 of those things on me, I'd definitely be dead right now. Well, yeah, I could be dead by now for sure. They've calmed down. They're mostly gone back in there, but if I got anywhere near there, they would come after me right now. Don't worry, we're going to see them again tonight. While we're waiting on this experiment to develop, I'm going to take you down to my barn and show you a different type of wasp. Now, I call these paper wasps. I guess maybe they're all paper wasps, but this is the kind that lives in barns. Generally, I won't bother them either unless they're in an area where I think they'll be a threat to me, or my wife, or maybe my pets. So the ones down here I haven't bothered. But I'm going to tell you something. I had a friend, it was actually my brother's friend, but he was my friend too. When we were kids, he was a kitty cat. Hello, kitty cat. It's one of our outdoor kitties. He was in a barn like this, and when he stood up, he put his head against the roof. And there was a wasp nest there, one of these wasps I'm going to show you. And they stung him on top of his head. He was like 14 on top of his head, and it made him bald for the rest of his life on top of his head. All right, a couple nests up there. Let's go look at them. You see me go inside buildings and stuff, especially in the summer. I'm always looking up for these nests. Like here's one right here. These aren't super aggressive unless you really mess with them. That's a different wasp than the kind that just stung me. But those nests can get pretty big too. But they don't bother you, like I said, unless you're up against them. I saw a couple more over here. There's another one. See, they're not coming after me or anything, so I'll leave them be. Here's one. Oh, see, they're a little more active. That guy, yes, he's not a happy one. All right, so there's 3 right here. That's why I say always look up when you go into buildings. There's a little one there. There's one flying around. He's probably out hunting. There's one up there. There's a couple there just kind of watching me. All right. Oh, there's a big one. I didn't even see that one. If I came over here to get any of these tools, that one right there, that could be a big problem for me. Just kind of hanging down like that. And if I touched that right now, I'd be stung 1,000 times before I got out of here. All right, enough of that. My poor finger. I'm gonna put you away for until tonight, and then we'll come out here and we'll put some foam into the holes. And then the following day we'll come out here. Well, the day after that, maybe we'll come out here and dig them up and see what it looks like. Maybe at night. I'm watching those guys are like flying around here. It's already starting to go down. I do have Benadryl in the house, which I could take in case I had a real problem with it. But I don't want to take it unless I have to, because it makes me really sleepy. All right, we'll see you this evening. All right, so we're back at it again. It's not quite dark enough to foam the holes, but I wanted to show you something while it's still a little bit light. Bee nest by the pole, I went ahead and destroyed it because I knew since they were going in the black pipe and that pipe, there's no way I'd be able to use that foamy insulation to kill them all. So I went ahead and I took a garden hose and I flooded them out and destroyed them that way. I'll just show you what the nest looked like underground, like what this one looks like. Hopefully they're all dead. But yeah, so you can see they got a big cavity up underneath there. You can see that's their nest right there, and it was flooded out and they're all dying. I actually put a little bit of 7 in there with it. 7 is an insecticide. I had liquid 7. I just put like about a teaspoon in there with it, and so it's going to kill all those wasps and the larvae. You can see the larvae crawling around too. I don't know if you remember, but he actually stung me up there by my knuckle, but the back of my hand right there really swelled up. You can't really, it's actually gone down now quite a bit. You can't really tell it was quite puffy. But I can say this, if I had gotten stung a whole bunch of times, I'd probably had to gone to the hospital. That thing really swelled up. I had a pretty good reaction to it. But we're gonna go ahead and take our foamy insulation, and they're only coming out of that one hole. I'm gonna shake it up a little bit. I think once we get it started, we'll be okay, hopefully. There you go. I'm getting a whole bunch. Can of this is like $4, so. Okay, now what we're gonna do is smooth this over, good, and pack it down like that, so that all the foam goes into the hole and doesn't just push back up, because it'll go whichever way's easiest, and if we don't cover the hole, it'll just come back out the hole. Tomorrow we'll come back and we'll look at it. We're gonna let it sit all day to see if they dig out a new hole, which they might. Look, it's alive, banding in there, so it's gonna fill up that cavity. If the cavity's not big enough, it's gonna come out no matter what we do, pretty much. All right, there we go. All right, that's it. Easy peasy. Okay, what we're gonna do then is I'm gonna go ahead and let this sit tonight, and we'll look at it tomorrow. Give it about at least half a day, maybe a full day. If they haven't dug out again, because they're really good diggers, we'll go ahead and get the shovel out and dig it apart and see what it looks like. And hopefully there won't be a giant swarm of yellow jackets come out and completely envelop our entire body. We'll find out tomorrow if that's going to happen. We'll see you then.
Take your gold chain and your locket. Mother Earth has no sympathy. She'll take the ring from your hand and bury it in the sand and keep it for eternity. Mother Earth, she's got her secrets.